Housing infrastructure drives UK growth. Homes England's new 2025-2030 strategic plan places housing alongside transport, utilities, and regeneration assets as essential national infrastructure. The agency makes a clear case: without infrastructure-first development, land preparation, remediation, utilities, grid readiness, and community amenities, the UK cannot meet its housing targets or support long-term economic resilience. This repositioning aligns housing policy with national infrastructure planning, applying tools more commonly used in transport and energy to the housing sector. A national infrastructure mission, backed by scale, the strategy outlines a 5-year effort to support approximately 280,000 new homes, unlock land for 400,000 more, and nearly double annual completions on agency-backed sites by 2030. These targets are tied to the broader government ambition of delivering 1.5 million new homes within the current Parliament. Reaching those levels requires intensive enabling infrastructure, particularly where the private market has been unable to absorb land costs, utility upgrades, or site complexities on its own. Homes England's investment model reflects this expanded role. Using land ownership, funding instruments, and statutory powers, such as compulsory purchase orders, the agency intends to accelerate site preparation and infrastructure build-out. In many regions, infrastructure cost remains the defining barrier to viability. The plan's focus on bridging these gaps is central to unlocking the volume and diversity of new development required. Infrastructure-first delivery: land, utilities, and remediation. A central feature of the plan is a shift toward land-led development. Homes England will take on sites where infrastructure needs exceed what local authorities or builders can resource, prioritizing land remediation and leveling, utility installation and grid capacity upgrades, road access and local transport links, flood mitigation and sustainable drainage, enabling works for new towns and large regeneration sites. These elements are positioned as foundational infrastructure, work that must be completed before any homes can be constructed. This approach is especially relevant for brownfield and urban regeneration sites, where contamination, access issues, or outdated utilities often restrict early development phases. Industry analyses underscore the need for such interventions. Reports from UK infrastructure and energy bodies have consistently found grid bottlenecks, high remediation costs, and inadequate local infrastructure as major obstacles to housing delivery. Homes England's plan responds by treating these technical barriers as national priorities. Why treating housing as infrastructure matters for economic growth. The strategic plan connects infrastructure-backed housing delivery to wider economic competitiveness. Persistent housing shortages limit labor mobility, suppress productivity, and contribute to uneven regional development. By elevating housing to infrastructure status, Homes England integrates residential development into the same planning frameworks that guide transport corridors, industrial zones, and energy investments. This perspective is embedded in strengthened strategic place partnerships with combined authorities and local leaders. The coordinated approach allows housing, transport, and regeneration projects to be aligned within shared economic plans rather than advancing as isolated initiatives. For local authorities, this offers more predictable support for major infrastructure phases that traditionally stall early-stage development. The launch of the National Housing Bank reinforces this model. Through debt, equity, and guarantee mechanisms, Homes England intends to draw institutional capital into infrastructure-heavy or commercially challenging projects. This mirrors the blended finance strategies that have underpinned modern UK infrastructure delivery in other sectors. Safety, sustainability, and social infrastructure as core components. Homes England also places building safety, sustainability, and social infrastructure within its infrastructure definition. The agency continues to oversee remediation for unsafe residential buildings through the Cladding Safety Scheme and supports system-wide oversight with local regulators. Safety is framed not only as a requirement for individual buildings, but as essential to the long-term reliability of the housing system itself. Sustainability standards, such as improved energy efficiency, nature-positive land management, and high-quality urban design, are treated as infrastructure features because they shape resilience, environmental performance, and long-term operating costs. This reflects a broader shift in UK policy toward multidimensional infrastructure outcomes that deliver climate, economic, and social benefits simultaneously. The UK's infrastructure pivot. By establishing housing as infrastructure, the plan reflects a wider national pivot toward integrated infrastructure delivery. Homes England's multi-billion-pound investment pipeline, statutory tools, and regional partnerships create a platform not just to build homes, but to install the infrastructure that makes those communities viable, sustainable, and economically competitive. Its strategy moves the UK closer to a system where housing development is planned and financed like other essential infrastructure, aligned with transport networks, energy systems, and place-based economic strategies that define long-term national resilience. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment and Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team. And don't forget to submit your entry for the 2026 awards program. Deadline is 12/31/2025.